I think that a great portrait captures the humanity of the person, something specific about the individual. But in addition to that, it communicates with an audience that's outside of just its contemporaries. It was one of the darkest periods of the pandemic in New York. Like, we still had the lockdown, but people were starting to come outside. We started doing these long, epic walks around Brooklyn. And on one of them, we walked under the bridge and we saw Anthony. My daughter was like, "What is he doing?" And he had hung this mirror on chain link and was there cutting a woman's hair. And he told me that his salon had been shuttered and he had wanted to raise money for social justice causes. I found it so remarkable the way he was resourceful and he was resilient, and he found a way to adapt and survive in a time that was really confusing, and he was kind of creating this beautiful thing. And so I just started sketching it as sort of like a way of coping with everything. And I knew I wanted to make a piece, but I knew that it was a subject that needed like a sort of grand scale and a lot of detail and commitment, because his gesture had affected me so strongly. Marquetry Hybrid relies on the technique of putting thin wood veneers together to create an image and using the values and hues of the insides of different colored trees to work together. First, I have a base layer that is just this marquetry. And then once I sort of glue that down to a substrate, sand it, put it through this process, then I begin to add paint and pigment prints or other media. When people can see themselves in portraiture, they can feel like they're included in society, in the conversation, in institutions. I think that's really important. I've visited the Portrait Gallery many times, and I know that there are all these important and famous Americans that appear in this museum, and I felt like Anthony's gesture was worthy of that. I think part of being an artist, it's putting yourself out there and accepting the rejection and going through rejection, and also not letting that rejection define you, but continuing to persist and continuing to try and just keep putting yourself out there. Winning first prize, I'm overwhelmed. It's such an honor. These artists, their work is so good. I'm very thankful to be amongst such beautiful and impactful works.